Hey, folks, welcome to the SmackDown Podcast. Your home for all your Raw, SmackDown, NXT 205 Live, pay-per-view, and takeover recaps. It's Kyle over here. With me, you've got your Lacey Evans enthusiast, Mr. Rob Roode.
Yeah, buddy.
And
all y'all some nasties.
and AJ Styles of Podcast and Sebastian.
What's up, guys?
Joining us, hopefully shortly, we're going to have the Shinsuke Nakamura cosplayer, Benji, on the show. If you guys are just tuning in to us, we are the SmackDown Podcast. Like I said, we just like to recap, review all the WWE shows. You can follow us on Twitter at SmackDrawPod, myself at the Kai Tai Show, Sebastian at WrestlingFan_32, Rob at 2 Words Can't See Me, and Benji at Calavera Comedy. Oh man, you guys, we just watched Raw. How was it for y'all, dude?
Oh man, Raw was amazing. It was good. That's 2 weeks in a row that Raw was absolutely amazing from start to finish.
Easy to digest, right? Just pace well. So, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Sebastian?
Sebastian, I gave you a time in there.
No, yeah, it was a good show.
Threw you a layup, bro. Come on now.
Sorry, my daughter walked in, and I was muted for a second.
Blame the children,
But,
Sebastian. Blame the children.
It's okay.
It was a good show. It was fun.
Oh man, yeah, it was good. Like I said, I think my main part was just like nothing was too crazy. They tried to close the show pretty crazy, but other than that, it was just. I mean, I guess there were some really big segments.
It broke my heart.
But it was easy to digest.
It depends on if you
Rob got
trying to run
swerved.
somebody over is crazy.
No, that's what I was saying.
Man.
I was thinking of that. Yeah. Well, we got a nice little swerve in there at the end. A double swerve, actually, in fact. We had attempted murder. That made a comeback to Raw. That's pretty cool. New champions, couple of them on the show. Yeah, man. Yeah, some good stuff. Let's see. Did we have any new matches? Well, besides the ending of the show, did we have any other new matches announced?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, because I thought the Kurt Angle special guest referee thing was for SummerSlam, and I realized that was actually for Raw. And then, of course, we had the new match, Dolph Ziggler officially facing Goldberg at SummerSlam. No, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
That's
we don't have
amazing.
anything for Roman.
Now,
yet.
wasn't Roman supposed to do a thing and then he didn't, and that's what is causing all this shit?
Yeah. So
Maybe he's not even. He's either gonna have it announced tomorrow in my presence because he was waiting for me.
Yeah.
Or B, he's just not gonna wrestle at SummerSlam.
I think that's what
Maybe
it's gonna be.
I don't know. Maybe he's injured and they're keeping it under wraps.
Well, that'd be a cool
You
way
never
to
know.
do it.
You never know. Roman Reigns can't wrestle. He's too shooken up because somebody's trying to fucking kill him right now. And that's bro, I don't want to wrestle, man. Someone's trying to kill me. I'm sorry.
On an average of once a week, someone's attempting murder.
So I don't know. We'll see.
maybe twice this week. Oh
It wouldn't surprise me to have a Drew Cedric match added just because we haven't got
just
a
because
clear finish for him. Yeah, we
just,
haven't got a clear finish.
Is that the 205 guy?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. Cedric, the guy who got jumped by Drew before the match, and then
Okay. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering who he is. Just like earlier in the chat, you guys are like, Angle, what happened? I'm like, Drew's fighting somebody. I forget who.
Oh man. We had some good 24/7 stuff this show. We got an answer to how we're gonna get that belt off of Maria Kanellis. Did y'all think that she should have held on to that thing longer, or are you happy with the quick release?
No, I am happy that it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm sick of her. I don't want to see her on my TV anymore.
She plays her character's good,
like,
man. She got a good character.
No, I don't like the angle, man. I don't.
The ball clipper?
I personally don't like. Yeah, I personally don't like it. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. You got to have everything to make WWE good. It can't just be everything you like. But I personally don't like the angle.
I think the issue is with
it.
her being legitimately pregnant. You can't have no payoff. Like, she can't get hers. You know what I mean? Like, tonight was arguably her getting hers. Getting her comeuppance, but. Yeah, there's no real like payoff. She pisses off like another female and then gets her ass kicked. You can't do that to a pregnant chick. So it's
Right.
yeah, it's like plot
And
armor.
if you do, like, you'll never hear the fucking
And it's
end of it.
legitimate attempted murder. But yeah, I guess we'll dive into the show. It's before we just spoil the entire thing. We were live in Pittsburgh, home of Kurt Angle. It's probably why he has a good presence there that night or tonight.
Doo-doo.
Oh man, actually, let me get off track again real quick. What'd y'all think of Street Profits beatboxing?
Oh my god, that's one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life. That was one of them things you didn't know you needed it in your life until it happened. I was bobbing my head and everything. I'm like, y'all are killing it right now.
Oh my god.
And even the crowd started the "You Suck" chant.
Let's go with it. That's wonderful, man. That's some good stuff. But we so I came in like about 2 or 3 minutes after the show started. Like, so when I tuned in, Samoa Joe was already standing on the commentators table shouting at them for accusing him of attacking Roman.
We had a 10-bell remembrance for the 2 shootings they did before they really started anything. Like, they had a moment of silence and the crowd was silent. It was very touching. The way they did it was very, very well.
Yeah.
And that's really all it was. They did the 10-bell chime and then it cut into the actual start of the Raw segments, but you did miss that. And that's definitely worth a mention.
Okay.
But then it jumped into what you seen Samoa Joe. He was just rambling. It wasn't me. Stop talking shit, Roman. It wasn't me. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Didn't really miss anything on that.
I would be kind of pissed too if my name was being tossed around for attempted murder. You know?
But at the
I
same
kind of
time, you're
agree.
Samoa Joe and you do things like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, can't really blame us for thinking it was you, bro. It's something you do.
It's something you do, man. You hate him. Who's to say you wouldn't?
And I'm sure you know how to drive a forklift.
Yeah.
Just saying.
At least poorly, you know. But yeah, so Joe's threatening. He says he's going to come out later and call Roman out. And he says, if Roman don't come out and answer, I'm going to shut the show down. And then in the midst of him yelling, he gets cut off by Becky Lynch's music. But this isn't Becky Lynch interrupting Joe. She has a match to conduct. She has a match to go to. So, we can't really be mad at Becky for, them saying, hey, your match is up next. Go out to the ring.
Now, my 9-year-old daughter did look at me and question me as to why Becky Lynch cut Joe off, which the only reason I'm mentioning that is because a lot of people probably didn't see the tweet. My daughter got me. She basically we were sitting at McDonald's a couple weeks ago, and she's like, you don't really like Becky Lynch anymore? I was like, it's not that I don't like Becky Lynch. I don't hate her. She's just fizzled on me. I just, whatever. It is what I don't hate her. I want her to see her. I want to see her lose her belt. And whatever. It is what it is. Nothing major. But she looks at me and she goes, that means you don't want You're the Man shirt no more. Basically, She conned me out of my Becky Lynch shirt, which is 4 sizes too big. And she wears it around the house. She loves Becky Lynch. But even she looked at me and she was like, why is Becky Lynch cutting off Samoa Joe? That's your boo right there, and you're questioning why she's on the screen. I'm just throwing this out there that's a sign that she's starting to fizzle. I'm just throwing it out.
She didn't cut him off. You should have explained that. She didn't cut him off, honey. She has a match.
I did. Don't get me wrong. I did. She has a match coming. But my daughter was into Samoa Joe. She's never into Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe's
her and
awesome.
I, she'll be like, she'll mention Kofi, and I'll be like, oh, I mean, that's the guy that Joe's going to take the belt from. She's like, no. I tried writing Samoa Joe on her Kofi Kingston sign for tomorrow, and she told me no.
Jeez.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Vince was back there and was like, we got a show to run, damn it. So
Joe, shut up. Becky, get out there and do something.
That was all it was.
You ain't
Okay,
shutting shit
I don't mean
down.
to get off track. Just
No.
throwing that out there. I like mentioning my daughter when I
so-
can. She actually stayed up with me until, she fell asleep at the end of the tag match. So
Aw.
the women's tag match.
Oh, man.
But
Dude,
it
that
is
was a
what
good
it
match, too, man.
Yeah, yep.
Anyways, so
Sorry, tomorrow I will tell her who has a new title around her waist.
So Becky came out to kick off her tag match with her unlikely bedfellow Charlotte taking on the teams of Natalya and Trish Stratus. Natalya did 100% of the work for the match. Never got a tag in for Trish. Becky was in there to begin with. Charlotte tags herself in. So obviously they're not just all of a sudden friends. They're still at odds with each other. Charlotte and Natalya end up working like 80% of the match together. Becky tags herself in. She gets cheap shot by Charlotte. Big surprise there.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it. I love seeing it.
Natalya,
Now, mentioning the Trish Stratus thing, I do want to throw it out there that my wife was actually paying attention for this.
yeah.
And she even looked at me and she goes, I thought Trish Stratus was around just for SummerSlam, a one-time deal for a draw. And I was like, she's got to shake the rust off. I was wrong.
You would think that was actually no, that was my thoughts exactly too. Get her out there, get a match in front of people. Exactly, yeah. Just shake the ring rust off.
Because I mean, there's a certain you can throw her at the Performance Center, but it's just not the same.
No, man, her name was just advertised to put butts in seats. That's all it was. Hey, Trish is gonna be here. Trish is gonna wrestle.
I didn't even like the fact that you just mentioned it is what made me bring it up. I didn't even realize she didn't even get tagged in. Wow.
Yeah, she never got tagged in. Yeah, so after Becky was cheap shotted, Natalya came in, picked up the scraps, got the sharpshooter. Becky still refused to tap. She got to the rope, but Natalya wouldn't let the hold go, so she got herself and Trish Stratus disqualified. After the match, Trish comes in to try and, cooler heads prevail. She gets shoved by Natalya. Don't really understand this because neither of them are going to get booed in Canada. Like, I don't know if you're trying to make Natalya heel in the last, 5 minutes of this feud, but neither of them are getting booed in Canada. I'm actually interested to see the reaction to Becky and Natalya because I feel like the crowd is going to love both of them. It's going to equally be behind them. Natalya's going to have to do something because I would, at this point, Natalya's the heel. She's going to have to do something during the match to get booed. And that's going to be hard to do. She's going to have to do something short of insulting Canada. I don't know. It's weird.
That's valid, but you know me. I'm the guy always, you're always mentioning it. I'm the guy always trying to look outside the box.
Yeah.
We're stirring away from the whole face heel thing. We really are, because I personally don't see it. Unless, you got a guy, on the mic saying the crowd is a piece of shit. I don't view him as a heel or, a face. So I honestly think it's steering away from that. I mean, not 100%, but not like it used to be. And, with this match, there's no way you can make one or the other. Like you said, they're both going to get cheered. You can make Natalya call the crowd a piece of shit. The whole WWE universe, you're all stupid. She's going to get cheered. She's from Canada.
Yeah.
So I personally think they're steering away from the whole heel face thing. Not totally, but it's not what it used to be. It's definitely not what it used to be.
Well, I think so. I think they're allowing for more tweeners than there used to be just because they tried to push so many faces and got them, booed out the building because no one wants to cheer a freaking clean-cut face. So they allow Becky to play a tweener. They allow Charlotte to kind of play a tweener, although Charlotte leans more on the heel side, but she still is going to get cheered. And a couple other characters, but there's some other people too where they're obviously face. Like Seth Rollins is an obvious baby face, and it's
right. There's definitely still the obvious out there.
Doing damage.
It used to be every match has to be a face first. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Not every single match is a face.
Well, one thing they don't want to do is they never want to do heel versus heel matches, because heel versus heel matches confuse the crowd, and the crowd can't get behind them. Like a live crowd can't. And
I can. I'll be all about it. Both you guys, woo!
Yeah, screw you guys. I want you both to lose. You just boo every move that happens. Boo, boo. No.
Even Seth, though, has done some stuff that's kind of heelish, right? The low
I thought
blow
he
with
was
he was doing during the special referee stuff with
the steel chair, and I mean, so even the baby faces do kind of heelish stuff sometimes. It seems like now.
Yeah, you're true.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's definitely not like it used to be.
Yeah. Well, the match ends, and then we get for me personally, the match of the night. This was a toss-up between this match and the women's Fatal 4-Way. But Rey Mysterio and Andrade, man, god dang, these guys got chemistry in the ring. Crazy chemistry. And they're both so I guess after tonight, man, Ray's spectacles with Andrade, Ray's going to be in the argument for one of the best in-ring workers of all time. He's going to be in that argument because the dude is in his 40s. He's been doing this for almost 30 years or at about 30 years, I want to say. And he's still adding moves to his arsenal. Like he took that classic spot where he slides out the ring on his gut and and he normally would fall to the damn floor, and he turns that into a sunset power bomb, throwing Andrade into the barricade, and that junk was nasty. Not to mention, he hit slick transitions into like freaking Canadian destroyers, and he hit like another jumping sunset bomb. Like Rey Mysterio is not showing his age. Like I think for a while he was injured several years ago, and he did need to like step away from WWE for a while, and it feels like that's extended his career tenfold. Because ever since he's come back, you could not tell that guy's missed a step. You can watch his matches in the mid-90s, and there's very few things that he's not doing now that he was doing then, as far as great feats of athleticism. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess I jumped into this match. Anything else stand out to you guys? Any personal thoughts on this incredible match?
I think you said it all. I mean, the dude, he hasn't lost a step, and all the flips he does, and like he was getting flipsy doos on a big dude. So I mean, and like Andrade was taking him, and he was like, yeah, these guys got amazing chemistry. I think they need to stick with this rivalry. Yeah, I really do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll never get tired of seeing these guys again.
Hell no. We gonna get that mask versus hair match that's so heavily rumored?
I think so eventually. I mean, Andrade is growing around pretty good.
Yeah.
I noticed that today. I never really paid attention until tonight. He's got some hair on him now.
He's got some hair on him, man. Oh man. Yeah. He. I hope they do it because Andrade was going for the mask again during the match. So hopefully that is where this is going. It feels too late to add it to SummerSlam unless they call it out tomorrow. Because I mean, arguably Ray has an argument here because Andrade won, but it wasn't until Zelina Vega was interfering in the end of the match when these guys were just hitting each other with everything they had, and neither would go away. Rey Mysterio did hit the 619, but like I said, Vega got in there last minute, was able to get the interference, and ultimately let Andrade hit that. Oh, geez, I can't remember. What's the DDT? He's got the
Hammerlock.
Hammerlock, thank you. Yeah, for the win. So this has got to be a feud for SummerSlam, right? Because I mean, it's gonna be a while to the next pay-per-view.
Clash of Champions, or not Champions.
I think it's Clash of Champions.
Oh, it's a Clash. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Clash of Champions. Because I remember.
Isn't that the one that's like where you're at?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
Word.
Oh, damn, I forgot all about that. Shoot, I need to look up tickets, man. Completely forgot. Thank you, Rob. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Oh man. And then so we follow the match of the night for my argument for segment of the night. Dude, this 24/7 championship can do no damn wrong. Oh my god, this thing is the best thing to happen.
I actually missed this madness.
Oh god, dude, you got to go back.
You got to watch it.
WWE is going to edit out some of this. You need to watch it in its entirety. Go find some bootleg version of tonight's taping. I'll send you a website. I know a couple. And watch this segment in its entirety. So for one, they're back. You got Mike and Maria in an OBGYN office, but it's so clearly obvious the backstage of WWE where they were at. They couldn't even pre-tape it. It was the cheesiest set ever, man. The back wall was curtained. The back wall was a curtain.
You can tell that they were just extras. They weren't waiting on the fucking doctor.
Dude, the back wall was a curtain. It was a wall. It was supposed to be a wall. It's like
It's like they covered the area just before you go out to the arena where they got the curtains with all the fucking universe, the crowd and shit.
Oh
They
my
just covered it up with a fucking doctor.
Jesus Christ, dude. It was so the set was so cheesy, but you know what? For me, it added to just the hilarity of the segment. It really did,
That's
man.
valid.
It did.
That's valid.
They call Maria back to the back room, and her and Mike are back there, and she's laying into Mike. I think she's telling Mike he's got to step up to protect her, or so Mommy can be a proud champion. She was tooting her own ego, and Mike says, I'll be a man. I love you, baby. And he leans down, and this is, mind you, Maria's on a bed with her legs up in stirrups, and Mike leans down and gives her a hug. And the hug is kind of dragging a little long, and all of a sudden you hear a slap to the back of Mike's back. It's a referee dressed as a doctor. She does the 3 count on Mike's shoulders. He slaps his shoulders. 1, 2, 3. He's the new champ. He celebrates really quick. He's like, yes, and he just runs out the room, dude. Like, oh my god. And it didn't end there. So you missed this part, Rob. Because we were arguing in the chat.
No, the one part I missed was him giving birth to the baby.
So...
I've seen the rest. But the reason I missed it is because I was texting you guys saying how awesome this segment is.
So Mike comes out of the office and we're back in the room again. And you can see obviously two more people sitting where Mike and Maria were. And they both got... newspapers covering their face, and one is dressed like, one is a woman, the other one is a man, but as they pull the papers down, the woman is actually R-Truth in drag, and the man is Carmella dressed up like a truck driver. And Mike asks, he's like, did you really follow me to the doctors? R-Truth hits him with the line, OBG, why not? And then he says, oh no, my water broke. He gives birth to a baby, throws the baby above Mike to distract him, and rolls him up for the pin. And at this point, WWE is fucking silly, bro.
I'm all about it. Let's roll.
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't think Jesus Christ in a bad way. I mean, that sounds hilarious. Send me those links, dude. I gotta watch that.
I'm telling you,
it's
man.
So good.
It was so well done. If I'm gonna have hell to pay if a non-wrestling fan hears that I like wrestling and they reference this is the only segment they saw, and I'm gonna have to explain myself. But other than that,
props to USA though. I mean, they sent WWE that list. That was on it. Things that they recommended. So
nice. Yeah, Ben, and it's working, dude. Because it was. That definitely got the most joy out of me for the night, including out of all the matches. Apparently, I love the damn 24/7 above everything else, man.
I remember when Big introduced that thing. They were boos.
Dude, wasn't it like garbage? Like you were like, oh my god, no.
Twitter was going off on it, and here it is, the most entertaining thing.
It is the best thing, man. Watch. It's funny just how how much things can change in just a matter of a couple weeks, dude. That led to some dueling promos between Becky and Natalya. Becky hit Natalya with some good insults. Said while she was changing the biz, Natalya was on reality TV changing her damn bikinis or something. And then while
she said she was on Instagram practicing her duckling.
On Instagram practicing her dog face. Yeah, it was good stuff. Good little stuff, bite-sized stuff. From there, dude, what'd y'all think? We got the Heyman segment with Lesnar. What did this do for anybody? This was weird, man.
It made Brock Lesnar look like more of a badass than he already is. That's what had happened. But the issue is, I think you guys both know I'm all about Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar. The problem is Seth is all fucking beat up. Brock comes out. In the Brock Lesnar beating up Seth Rollins, is this where the CM Punk chant happened, or was this not?
No.
No, that was the Samoa Joe sit-in.
Okay, then that's my head thinking, wow, there's really nothing going on except Seth getting his ass whooped. I thought there was going to be a CM Punk chant. That's what happened. Anyway, Brock Lesnar whoops Seth's ass again. That's all it does. Now, the way the segment ended was Seth came out and he basically said, "Is this worth it? And I'm getting my ass whooped every day. Is it worth it?" Blah blah. I personally thought he was about to flip. You mentioned that it sounds like he's about to retire, but he said no. It is worth it. I guarantee I'm going to beat Brock at SummerSlam.
But he was like no conviction in his voice, though. You have to mention that because that's even you saying what he said. There was no conviction in his voice. He sounded defeated. Like he sounded like he was lying to himself. He had just got defeated.
So what he said, what happened was he got his ass whooped. Everybody thinks he's so defeated. There's no way he can stand up to Brock. But then out of nowhere, he's like, I guarantee I'm going to beat him. So I think what they set up was an upset, and Seth's going to get the belt back.
Oh, man.
He got his ass whooped. Nobody thinks he can fucking do anything. He's going to walk out in tape and limping on a stretcher, and out of nowhere, he's going to beat Brock Lesnar. Because he sounds so defeated, he can't do it.
What's that, Sebastian?
He's going to do it.
It'd be hard for me to see Seth. Maybe it drags a Hell in a Cell or something like that, and Seth gets it in.
See, but I was on the train, like, one thing that does stand out to me is how much Brock's been on TV. And you can look at it in two ways and probably makes sense that the first way I was thinking, I was like, damn, maybe Brock is on TV so much because he is going to lose the belt. But then the second part, the more logical probably is like, well, SummerSlam's the second biggest show of the year, so they're probably pulling some strings to get him to appear more anyways. But yeah, where this segment didn't make sense was, well, for one, it made perfect sense. Rollins' demeanor. He could barely walk to the ring. He looked helpless even with the chair getting in there. At no point you were like, he even stands a chance with a chair.
Too helpless, though, I think.
Yeah, he was
in
like
my notes,
fresh out of a hospital bed, man. Like
in my notes, I have there are definitely a line between making a babyface look brave and making him look stupid.
Yeah, and he looked stupid. Yeah, no, they did. He looked dumb, man.
But that also brings me to they're knocking him down so far, but all of a sudden he pops and he wins the belt.
Man,
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but there's
he
times
looks like he shouldn't even show up.
Sense.
He looks like he can't even make it to the damn event. Like he's not even.
I mean, you got everybody turning on Seth right now because of what they did, and whatever reason. I won't even get into the reasons. If you're listening to us, you know the reasons that people are flipping on Seth.
It's actually one of the questions we have to answer after the show.
you have him get his ass whooped so bad that he looks like the punkest little bitch in the history of wrestling, and then all of a sudden he slays the beast again.
It's like he's.
Oh my God! I love Seth Rollins again. Oh my God! Look at this guy's on a stretcher and he beat the beast.
I mean, what you're explaining is like you make it sound like they're trying to fast track what they did with Roman. They wanted Roman to look like the valiant underdog, but with Seth, they're trying to do it in a matter of like a month. Instead of like over a course of a. I mean, they do fast track that kind of stuff, and it rarely works.
Yeah. I mean, I could very well be wrong, and you know me, I don't.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that there's no clear answer on what they're trying to do here.
Valid.
There is no clear direction here. You have him look like you have your argument. You beat him down to the point like where it's like impossible to picture him winning, and then he wins for like the huge comeback. Or on the other chance, they're just like. They're killing his character. Well, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying like from a creative wise, but it's like, I think for me, what I got across from it is what two of my favorite podcasters refer to as a crisis of confidence. Seth Rollins might be going through a crisis of confidence now. He's always viewed himself as the man, and now he's openly talking about. Why do I do this? Is this worth it? That's not someone who is obviously in the top of their game. That's someone who's having a crisis of confidence. But where it goes from there is I don't know, man. Because like I said, it's just weird. It's a weird segment. It is definitely.
Then again, you could knock him down as far as he can go, and then you think he's gonna fucking take it at SummerSlam, and then he gets a fucking F5 onto a stretcher, and he's so low that next Monday he's like. Fuck this, and all of a sudden he's a bad guy.
Could be. I'd hope for that. I like him as a heel.
Could be a flip.
I like him as a heel.
If there's anybody in WWE right now that needs to flip, it's him.
I could think of a couple other people, but Rollins is probably up there.
Right.
But too, this whole beat the hell out of Seth could just be to protect him losing Sunday. Where it lost,
Yeah,
that's so
true.
hurting.
Oh, he lost. He got beat up. That's why
He was
Yeah.
already hurt. He was already
Yeah, he
hurt.
was-
You can't really blame the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I walked in here like he was 60 years old on a cane. So what do you expect?
Yeah. It is what it is, though. We'll see. We'll see where they're going with it, man. I personally don't think that he's beating Brock, but I have no idea where either of the men are going.
Right.
Yeah, like I got no idea where either of them are going right now. After SummerSlam, maybe it's what Sebastian said. Maybe it's a Hell in a Cell. You know, maybe they go to Hell in a Cell, bro. But we'll see. After that, we get the one of the other funnier segments of the night. We get an interview backstage with Kurt Angle, but he's quickly cut off by the Street Profits, who are talking about his 3 eyes and just hyping him up. Oh yes, they're beatboxing his theme. They're asking him to drink milk with him. Kurt says like, my wife told me I can't do anything crazy, like he's talking about drinking with the boys, and he's like, all right, fine, one cup of milk, you know. Oh man, I was like, Raw is on a roll with their comedy. I will give them that, man. They are.
The Heyman factor.
Factor. I like how they when Kurt Angle brought up his wife, they referred to him as like, okay, Kurt Kanellis. Oh, that was a good one. But then Drew comes in and pisses on the party, just insults everybody. He just knows how to make you feel bad for having a good time.
He does.
Yep. And then we got Rob's favorite match of the night that followed this. I know you probably have some big notes on this next match, Rob.
What match is that? I don't have any notes, Kyle. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have any more notes. I burnt up all my notes.
We are professionals.
Because I was taking notes. I swear to God, I will send you a screenshot.
It's okay.
But then my daughter asked me to make her a Kofi Kingston sign for SmackDown.
Oh, you got a good excuse. You have a very, very good excuse.
I went back to taking notes.
I don't even have what happened next in my notes, but the way you're talking, it was a squash, wasn't it?
It was the Viking Raiders, man. They came out there and destroyed some guys.
Okay.
No.
I thought you were talking about the women's tag match. Honestly, I left my TV. I seen the Viking Raiders. I seen the shadow thing. The lights went out, and then the shadow thing where they showed their shadow. I fucking left my TV.
Yeah, the next two segments.
I don't want to see this bullshit.
No, yeah, the next two segments weren't really big. Viking Raiders came out, squashed some other jobbers, some other local enhancement talent. This time I didn't even bother to get their names. Yeah.
One of them, this is their 5th match, and the other one is second time. I saw that.
Wait, was it one of the like 3 brothers that all has the same name? I can't remember.
One looks like Johnny Gargano. Is that his name, Johnny the Johnny Champion guy?
Yeah,
he's
kind of looks like Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
But he's had 5 matches.
Okay. Well, good for him. Following them, we had a little Harley Race tribute because Harley Race just passed recently. That was touching. And then we got the Kurt Angle's entrance music. He came out to be the special guest referee between Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander. But as Cedric was making his way out to the ring, Drew jumps him, and they just brawl on the outside of the ring while Kurt stands all alone in the middle of that ring, and all of a sudden the lights start shutting down. And so, yes, so we officially know that a couple things about The Fiend. While he's not being on weekly television matches, he's destroying every legend that's returning for little segments.
I tweeted, "Leave my legends alone. Leave my arrow alone."
He's the new legend killer, man, and he has officially absorbed the mandible claw. We were talking about this last week.
I tweeted, I was like, "You got Mick Foley, and now you got Kurt Angle." I was like, "Leave my generation alone. I'm not gonna let you win, man."
I know. He's gonna get to you, Rob. Check under your bed.
I was kind of expecting the lights to come back on and he have him in an ankle lock or something.
The Fiend is just taking everyone's moves, not just one move.
I mean, has that ever been done? That somebody's finisher is whoever they're fighting? That's my.
That was what was the guy with
the
special needs character?
Oh,
Eugene. That was Eugene's thing. Eugene's character was they didn't say like any specific disability he had. He just had special needs, but he was a huge wrestling fan. He grew up watching it, but his whole thing was kind of like autistic kids who are like super talented at certain things. That was Eugene's ability. Like, he was such a huge wrestling fan that he like was able to learn everybody's move sets. And so yeah, whoever Eugene was wrestling, he knew how to do their finishers and stuff. So yeah, we had a character like that. We've probably had other people do it, but none as notable as I would say Eugene. Which that was a good character back in the day, but would never fly nowadays. Like, oh man. But yeah, so what do y'all think about the Fiend or Bray Wyatt officially being given the mandible claw? I think it fits him. I think it totally fits him.
I'll be honest, man. Like, I have a super duper easy gag reflex, and I have a super duper weak stomach. So, like, when I see a mandible claw, I have to close my eyes. I'm not going to lie. I'm throwing myself out there, guys. It makes me gag.
Wow.
Because I think of it happening to me and how I would puke all over your fingers. Get that shit out of my face, man.
Oh my.
And especially back in the day, adding a sock to it. Come on.
Yeah, Socko. Where it was, like, presumed that Mick Foley took that, like, either off of his junk or, like, from under his taint.
No. I'm being serious when I say that. I have a gag reflex. I can't really watch the mandible claw. But that joke aside, I like it. It fits him very, very well.
Yeah, man. I think it's like, a perfect hand-me-down.
No, but I think it fits a lot more than Kevin Owens taking the stunner, which doesn't really make any sense to me. But the mandible claw,
matter who you give the stunner to, it's going to be a hard...
Valid.
That's going to be hard to do.
I mean, I'm not going to bitch about it, but I just don't see why it's there. But it is what it is. With the mandible claw, yes, I see Bray Wyatt using it.
I just wish Kevin Owens could hit it as fluidly as Stone Cold could.
Nobody
Kevin Owens looks like he's just a little bit more stiff with that stunner than Stone Cold could float into it like so easily. But yeah, that's minor gripes. That's minor. But yeah,
I'll never forget. I gotta plug it. They are saying tune in next week to see Stone Cold Steve Austin's new finisher. A time before
when they announced it. We guarantee you that whoever his opponent is ain't gonna stand a chance. In fact, Stone Cold's gonna take the opportunity to try out some new moves. Yeah, that was so weird. Like back then, they did weird. I mean, wrestling still does weird stuff. Wrestling does weird stuff nowadays. We have dudes giving birth with babies and using them as distractions. You know, wrestling's just weird, man. It's always gonna be weird.
Gotta love it though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, man. Especially the last couple weeks, man. Last couple weeks been good WWE content. This was cool. Seeing the OC came out and Doc Gallows or Luke Gallows is wearing his vintage New Japan face paint. I like that. Kind of give him like something to give him a little bit of an edge and stray away from like the comedic character he plays in their duo who loses, because when he was in New Japan he was no joke, man. He was a serious guy. He wasn't no funny guy really. But it's supposed to be the OC facing against the New Day champs versus champs. No belts on the line, of course. Bell rings and pretty much the OC in full force just beat down Xavier Woods. And in brawl with the New Day. Kofi's not in Pittsburgh, so Ricochet comes out for the save. And we do get our one mandatory, predictable 6-man tag match that, we're never going to be able to avoid. Mm-hmm. We also got a return this week of the no wrestling during commercials, too, for some of the matches. Not all of them. But for this one and then the women's tag match, they did the whole no wrestling during commercials. So that was interesting to do it with.
Did they?
Yeah. They
Yes.
This match got reset, and then the first fall in the women's Fatal 4-Way, they cut to commercial, and it was reset to a triple threat, and they didn't start the triple threat until it came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they went to commercial right after that first elimination, but I was thinking they wrestled.
No, man, they reset it.
They actually, for the women's match, they actually had everybody come out too. And then they cut commercial, and then came back and introduced everybody.
Yeah.
That's the point where it was actually I was mad for a while. They kept jobbing the Iconics, because the Iconics weren't on TV, not even for their damn intro. But this time they got their intro, and it was all good.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause for those who don't know, I love my Iconics, but I was about them losing their titles because
You were ready. You were ready. Yeah,
now,
man.
if the Iconics defended the titles and kept, like, if they kept trolling like they did on Raw last week, I'd be all about it. Let's roll. But you went 5 months without doing anything, and then all of a sudden you troll me. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. So, but that's jumping down the line back to where we were at.
No, you're good.
OC.
You're good. So this match was good. It ended up OC going over with the new face painted Gallows, getting the pin on Xavier Woods, who always eats the pins for his team. Like, poor Xavier Woods. You got to look at like the I want to see like the statistics since the New Day was formed. Who's ate the most pins since then out of the 3? I promise you, Xavier Wood wins that by like a landslide.
Somebody has to do it, dude.
Somebody, man. You're the mouthpiece, but in exchange, you're gonna get pinned 4 out of 5 times.
So I still get the trophy, right?
you still get the belt. You still get the belt too. So it's just when we need someone to lay down. I'm sorry, man. You're little, but you're not Kofi. Kofi's champ, so it's different.
Speaking of Kofi, and you mentioning he's not there.
Yeah.
My daughter, here we go, another daughter plug. She goes, why
she gets
isn't
her
Kofi
mandatory
there?
5 plugs.
She's like, why isn't Kofi there? And I just kind of said, I don't know. She goes, wait, he's resting for us tomorrow. I'm like,
Hell yeah, man. Awesome attitude.
I'm like, that's so great.
But yeah, so Gallows, they get the win. This is just to help further the feud between Ricochet and AJ Styles, Mr.
Yeah.
Sebastian over here, you know. This will help getting their feud going for SummerSlam, because I don't think the OC or the New Day, either of their belts right at this point, are being defended at SummerSlam. So that's weird. They're gonna neglect.
I've been sitting here this whole time debating if I was just gonna leave this one alone or not.
Yeah, I don't think any of the 3 tag titles are being I don't think any of the 3 tag championships are being defended at SummerSlam, though. I don't think a single set are.
That's kind of dumb. Then speaking of that, and because of that, I knew the Iconics were going to lose the title, and I knew that they were going to be the first ones pinned because they didn't set it up at SummerSlam. But back to this match, I like the moment you announced next we had OC blah blah blah. I was sitting here like, do I speak my mind on this one or do I just leave it alone? I didn't watch this match. I don't like the OC. I don't like them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to give them my time. I don't know what it is. The AJ Styles, I've lost all respect for him. I mean, what he's become, like what he's done is cool and all, but I don't know exactly what it is. I can't pinpoint it, but I don't want to watch the OC. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I don't get it.
Well,
I seen him on the screen, and I got up. I left the couch.
Sebastian, if the Bullet Club was good at anything, it was pissing people off. So.
It's not even.
Huh?
I just try to entertain you. I'm sorry.
Sebastian's taking this personally.
I mean, I try, I really do, and I didn't really hate AJ Styles. I never hated AJ Styles. I don't hate him now, but I didn't really he didn't do it for me. I gave him his respect, but now it's just I don't know, man. The club. Is this what the Bullet Club was like?
Well, I mean, the Bullet Club had a lot more members, and they were also in front of a different crowd. So no, because this is like an Americanized, all-American only Bullet Club. Well, I mean, they were Westerners, so it wasn't like there was a bunch of like Japanese wrestlers in the club. But you got to remember, they were in a different organization. They had different rules. They were allowed to drop F-bombs. You know, and there was a lot more chaos, and then also they were allowed to have full-fledged factions, not 3-member factions. They were allowed to have like 6, 7 guys in a faction to really give you that feel of somebody, like a group of people taking over something, you know. So this is like Bullet Club light. This is not a fair representation of them.
Because when I left my couch, I thought that I'm like, everybody loves the Bullet Club. And like I have a different opinion than everybody majority of the time, and you know that. Yeah. But I was like, there's no way that that's in play here. There's no way.
No,
everybody loved these guys, and I'm like, I don't even want to.
The closest thing to compare Bullet Club to, and I'm pretty sure they get the comparison a lot, is a modern black and white NWO, but not with a bunch of like older wrestlers in the twilight ends of their careers. It was actually like their attitude of the black and white NWO, but the members of it was like all the wrestlers of tomorrow. Like everybody that has like gone through the Bullet Club has like ended up being big deals either in New Japan or elsewhere. Like they've all blown up.
So they didn't just take whoever the hell wanted to join. They were like, you gotta have a thing.
No, I mean they did swell up, and there were a couple people that were kind of like iffy. But even then, some of the people like Hangman Page was in the Bullet Club, and everyone thought that.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, everyone thought he didn't have a fit. He ate a lot of losses, and now he has the chance to be like the first AEW champion.
Jericho.
So, but that's what I mean is. Bullet Club is a big deal in modern wrestling. It's just like I said, if all you're exposed to is the OC,
what we get,
you're not going to get a fair representation of who they were and who they are.
Perfectly. Okay,
Yeah.
Because like I said, no disrespect to them, and I always say it every time that I give my opinion like this. No disrespect to anybody that likes them. If you guys like them, by all means, have at it. It's just not for me.
Hey, on a side note, Rob's a huge fan of Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, so just remember that, okay?
They need to get back on my TVs, their vacation. I mean, everybody needs their vacation. They're carrying the WWE and all, but I mean, you guys need to come back.
Oh yeah, and really quick, I want to take a short break from the show just to give a special shout out to Ontario, Canada. Thank you, Ontario, Canada. You guys are the largest province of viewers that we have for the show, so a special Smack Draw shout out to you,
really?
Ontario, Canada. Yeah, so most of our viewers, I looked over the geography where most of the people listen to us. Ontario, Canada's got the most viewers out of anywhere else in the world.
On.
Yeah, I know, right? So thank you guys. I'm sorry for making fun of your hero Bret Hart and calling y'all moose loving like
We're going back.
I'm all about
some Tim Horton drinking moose lovers, but you know, like,
for what it's worth, I had Tim Hortons for breakfast this morning, and I'm all about Natty taking Becky's belt. Man.
Cheap pop. Just no. We even have a viewer, and I think I know who it is, but we even have a viewer in Australia. But I think that's that Australian podcast that communicates with us on Twitter. I bet it's them. But yeah, we've had like one or two viewers pop up in Europe, but the majority of our viewers are here in the States, and then as far as in like one area, Ontario, Canada, man, got the most viewers. Look at that. So thank you guys. Back to the show. Back to the show. Joe is in the ring, shutting the show down, kind of like I just did. He grabs a chair. He demands Roman come out there and apologize. He sits there for a while. Crowd starts turning restless. We get the CM Punk chants. The moment they started chanting CM Punk, Joe threw his head over his shoulder. I thought he was going to go after the crowd, but it was actually just a stagehand trying to get his attention. That bummed me out. I thought he was going to turn on the crowd, man. But stagehand was like, Roman's not even here. He's pulling into the parking lot. And so Joe says, as much as I want to be out here with you ungrateful fans, I'm going to go jump Roman. So Joe leaves the ring, goes out to the parking lot. We see Roman Reigns pulling up in his SUV, I think it was. They start looking like they're going to fight. Like this really looked like a real life fight, how it goes down sometimes. Roman gets out the SUV, but he only gets like a step out. They smack talk a little bit, and then Roman sees someone coming out of frame and dives into the truck, and the truck is instantly rammed by a car. Someone has tried to kill Roman Reigns now twice in the last week.
And they didn't overproduce this one either, like the last one.
Yeah, no, this was better. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
I think they learned their lesson. I think they
so
Twitter bitches sometimes, and I'm like, why are you bitching? But they bitched about this one, and I agreed. I'm like, come on.
So how about you want to
know
bet
WWE mentioned the 1700 camera angles.
Yes, I popped at that.
So how much y'all want to bet WWE tweets out it was a temporary valet lost control of their car?
I tweeted that. That's probably already tweeted something.
It's like
now what I didn't like was you're trying to bring like realism into it, and you guys know I don't complain about much, but the car sat there, like it just kind of sat there. If I'm Samoa Joe, I'm running over to that car to find out who the hell's in the car.
Now you could make the argument that his character was in shock, because I witnessed a car accidents before. So actually, personally speaking here, I always thought in the view of like catastrophe, I would run at the opportunity to help someone. And I remember I was actually walking home one time from work, from a previous job. And right across the street from me, I'm talking like 10 yards from me at most, a T-bone accident happened. And people were in the car. Like one woman, I think, had she may have had a broken leg. And then there was a passenger in the passenger seat. And I literally stood there frozen. I didn't jump like out the way. I stood there and like I wasn't even where I was at, like I was watching television. And it wasn't until like 30 or 45 seconds passed, someone got out their car to help the woman out of the truck, did I realize, like, oh shit, I'm right here. I could be helping these people. And it wasn't until that moment did I actually have the presence of mind to run up there. So there is a realistic chance that you can see something like that get put in shock and be like a deer in the headlights for a moment, and be removed from the situation.
That's like Samoa Joe, though, man. That's Samoa Joe.
You'd like to think we're all
Joe
Superman.
Deer in headlights.
Well,
Samoa Joe is Superman.
To his defense, he did kind of go after a car once it backed up, though.
Yeah. And when they cut to commercial and came back, they made it look like only a couple seconds had passed before that car was peeling out. Yeah. I was sitting there, man, pausing the replay frame by frame to see if you could see into that window. Man, they tinted the hell out of those windows.
Yeah, because assholes like you.
I was trying to get that video evidence.
Stop drinking and driving, dude.
Oh,
You'd be the first motherfucker with a screenshot on Twitter. I was Dolph, man.
Dude, it'd be our thumbnail, bro.
Mystery solved.
It's Jimmy Uso. That's not funny, man. That's not funny.
We're going to hell for laughing at this.
Holy shit, man.
Y'all gonna shit when it ends up being Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso. Like father, like son. Oh.
Samoa Joe, what's up, Oos?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense, man. Rikishi's boy. Rikishi runs
Jimmy
down Stone
out.
Cold. Yeah.
Jimmy comes out, I did it for Joe.
I did it for Joe. This is good. Do it, WWE.
Props to Joe, though. I mean, it really
so Joe turned face.
How,
is this a face turn for Joe?
I don't think so. Like you said, like, the human part of it, like, you just watch the guy get
for a
hit
moment
by a
there,
car.
I thought Joe was going to beat his ass, dude. For a moment,
well,
man,
that's the thing.
when
He
he
still
swung
had
that
voice
door
like he wanted
open,
to beat his ass.
oh my god, I thought he was gonna do it. I thought he was gonna pick the scraps.
I saw a tweet that like put it perfect. Hold on, let me go.
Oh, why are you doing that?
Samoa Joe's reaction doesn't scream fake to me. It screams, I don't like this guy, but he just got hit by a goddamn car. That's how it came across. I mean,
like,
valid.
Really, how am I gonna add to that? But I was thinking, after the segment, I was thinking that they should have the opposite, not the opposite of like the car crash thing, but like later on, have Roman Reigns, come out and like kind of like tease Joe, be like, Joe, admit that you care about me, man. And he's like, admit it. I saw you when I got hit by that car, Joe. You were mighty concerned. And try to get Joe smitten.
They form a tag team.
Yeah, they form a tag team at that point. Yeah, man. The Samoa Joes.
Relationship, dude.
They would be the Samoa Joes, man. Oh, shit. But, hell yeah. So that was good, man. That was a really good segment. I'm happy to see Attempted Murder back on television. That's good. We got the women's Fatal 4-Way tag match. Tag title match that came up next. We had Asuka and Kairi Sane taking on Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, taking on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, taking on the Iconics. I'll start this, and Rob, I'll let you finish it, because I know you're excited to get into this. Iconics, why did they wait so long to let the Iconics show that they are good at tag team wrestling? Because the whole opening segment showed like fluid tag team wrestling between the Iconics showed that these girls are no slouches in the ring. It's only when they're losing the belts are they allowed to look like they actually know what the hell they're doing in there.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I really don't understand it. I caught that too. I really don't. I was one of the biggest Iconics fans you'll find. I was all about these women winning the titles. But then, why? Like you just said, why did they wait so long to do anything with these belts? Vince, you lost my interest. You lost my interest. I wanted my girls to lose the belts.
You started the Iconics
Vince.
challenge,
That's
man.
your fault. No, I didn't. Somebody hit me up. I was the first one to get tagged in the Iconics challenge. I think. I don't know.
Oh,
so I
man.
can't take credit for
The
starting
deception,
it. But
Rob.
I
thought
one
you
of the
started
first.
something.
No, I wish, bro. I wish. But I was one of the first, and I did catch a freaking retweet from Peyton out of it. But anyway, why? Why did you wait so long? Anybody that knows me in the social media world knows I don't complain about much. I'm happy. Just throw me whatever, and I'm happy. But you ruined the Iconics. You really did. And then, like you just said, all of a sudden they can wrestle and defend some titles. But they defend the titles on a night that you know they're going to lose them. How do you know they're going to lose them? Because the build-up was so big, and they don't have a match at SummerSlam. This, tonight, should have been SummerSlam. It would have been amazing at SummerSlam. I'm glad. I love seeing title changes on Raw, but this should have been SummerSlam.
Well, they would have had to have cut a match or two out because there's no way they would have given the same time on SummerSlam.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like 100%. This should have started a month ago.
No,
this
absolutely.
should have started to build
absolutely.
a month ago. Not no. Hey, Iconics. Here's the Kabuki Warriors, and they're gonna get a title shot. But first, they gotta beat you in Tokyo. That's non-televised, and the average WWE fan doesn't pay attention to. And they're gonna have no idea when it happens.
Yeah.
What are you? Oh man.
It was really
This is
contrived.
really the only thing I've complained about in the last month was these tag titles.
No, I'll give you that, man. Well, here let's
to the end.
Let's run down the match and then we'll get into the more of the personal feelings, just because we are a recap show.
This is the only thing I stop and bitch and rant about.
Mandy Rose got the pin on. I can't remember which member of the Iconics, but Iconics were first ones to get pinned out or get eliminated by Mandy Rose. We cut to the commercial. We come back. It's restarted as a triple threat match. Asuka ends up tapping out Mandy Rose next with the Asuka lock, leaving it down to the Kabuki Warriors and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Excuse me. This we saw some really
yell
good.
At you for a second.
Look, well, no, I'm looking at my notes and I don't have Cross's name down, so I'm trying not to say what I'm reading. I'm trying to just paraphrase what I wrote down. But anyways, yeah. So we saw some really good tag team wrestling. It really came together at the end of the match. We saw great tag work, and then we saw probably the best tag work between Bliss and Cross. The way they were able to isolate Asuka and double team her fluidly, not even like underhanded tactics, kind of underhanded, but just smart. They really dissected Asuka when they were able to isolate her, and then it allowed Bliss to get the win over Kairi Sane, hitting the Twisted Bliss. So a couple things here. So you've got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as the new women's tag champions. This is Cross's first WWE championship in both NXT and on the main roster. And Alexa Bliss becomes the first Triple Crown female to win the Raw Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship, and Women Tag Team Championship. So she's going to go down in history. They'll be mentioning that over the next couple weeks. But yeah, this is obviously Rob's stuff right here, because Rob's got a lot of the people he likes in this match. So go ahead, Rob.
Yes. Now I bitched about my Iconics. Those that don't know me, I love my Iconics. I love the shenanigans they pull. I love the you gotta be joking me, and the fact that they pulled the bullshit segment where they said they drank too much freaking water, and then they went and they used the bathroom together, but they were out of the bathroom in literally 5 seconds. But you just drank 3 gallons of water, you're out in 5 seconds. I personally loved it. I hated what they did with the titles. But Nikki Cross, I love Nikki Cross. Quick rundown. Again, I'm plugging it. I got back into WWE in January. I went to a house show in March. I really hadn't learned who I liked, who I didn't like, whatever. I seen Nikki Cross for the first time. As soon as her music hit, I was like, oh my God, who is this music? And then she came out being all crazy. I didn't know who she was. I fell in love with Nikki Cross. So I'm glad to see Nikki Cross having a title and getting some love. Alexa Bliss, she's not my biggest. I wouldn't pick her out of a bunch. But she gets her respect. She's paid her dues, whatever. She deserves the Triple Crown. So, wait, where was I going with this? Okay. I like the ending of the match. Because the way they built this, the Kabuki Warriors were going to be your new tag champs. I mean, like, if I were to put $100 on this match, I would have lost because I would have put it on the Kabuki Warriors. That's what they built, plain and simple. And then, again, I'm going to plug my daughter. She fell asleep, so she didn't get to see this match. But when Alexa Bliss was laid out and Kairi Sane was going to the top rope for her elbow, how many people in the WWE Universe thought that was it? I tried waking my daughter up. I was like, look, the title's about to change. And then it flipped. Asuka got put into the apron, like between the apron and the ring. And then everything happened, and then the Twisted Bliss happened. So I love the way the match ended, and I love the fact that Nikki Cross is getting some love. But at the same time, Asuka is not getting some love here. Ooh, flip right there, flip. I don't know. I'm gonna stop because I'm.
What do you think, Sebastian?
Right, yeah, there we go.
I thought Bliss and Nikki was going to win, not because of how the story was built, because like Rob said, that the story of the match kind of shown Kabuki, but just because they've been the most featured on TV, we haven't really seen much of Sane, Asuka here lately, and it was a good match. I honestly thought Mandy and Sonya had a chance. I really liked the stuff between Sonya and Asuka. I love their chemistry. Back in the day when Asuka had the title, I really wanted that feud.
Yeah.
But
I think what's going to be...
It's good to see, like, back when this whole thing started, everybody thought the turn was happening. Nikki's turning on Alexa, Alexa's turning on Nikki. I mean, that's what we're conditioned with, It always happens. So it's really good to see, at least for now, that that's going to be pushed off, and it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was in the back of my head that, I said, the Kabuki Warriors were the ones that I thought was going to win because of the story build from 17 months ago when they won the belts. And then when they won it, I thought that's when the turn was going to happen. Either Bliss was going to say, screw you, or the other way around. But like you said, I'm glad that they didn't go that route. They went a different route for a change.
I just saw a picture here online when the Kabuki Warriors came out with Paige. You know how the wrestlers have their Twitter handles under their name? They had Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, not Asuka. But no, I think the real highlight here, that hopefully this seems clear cut and dry, but never sleep on WWE to screw up an easy thing. The women's champions are going to be on television now. Where we didn't have Iconics doing anything, we've already had Cross and Bliss on weekly television, and having significant segments with them. Now we'll actually see the titles, and we'll probably have storylines to go with them, so
Yay.
Hopefully this is a restart on the feuds. We're not going to get anything at SummerSlam, but hopefully at Clash of Champions, I'll get to see them, do something, hopefully.
Go back to rewind what we were talking about a few minutes ago, just real fast. What happened? I tweeted a long time ago, if you could ask Vince McMahon one question, what would it be? And if you were actually to get that opportunity, you would sit and you would.
I'd ask him what's in the lockbox.
But I don't get that reference. Is that a reference?
Who threw the pie? Sorry, Rob. I don't mean to shit on your question. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. You're good, bro. That's how we roll. But no. My question right now, if I would have had a gun to my head and say, ask your question, I would say, Vince, what the fuck with the women's tag team titles? What did you do? Why?
It's just off to a rocky start, man. They're early in inception, man. We'll just give it time. I think they wanted it just as a novelty at first, and they probably had some plans, but those plans got
positivity.
Scrapped.
You know me, positivity. Maybe I can stop bitching about it now. It's really the only thing I bitch about.
I'd like to replay the first episode and then lately, Rob, because you bitched 150% more now, which still
Do I
isn't.
really?
It's still not that much though, because you didn't bitch at all beforehand. Like you never said anything. I think it took like 3 or 4 episodes before you were like, okay, I didn't really want to complain because I don't complain, but this is starting to bug me. And now you're like,
I did bitch
I
about
don't,
the OC like a half hour ago.
I don't fucking get them off my TV. Just.
Oh, that was Baron Corbin, and then I felt bad. Started to unblock.
But yeah, let's close this show out and let's get to some questions. It's getting we're getting on a good runtime here. We're about just over an hour now. So, last up after the tag match, we got the contract signing for the match between The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, or at least that's what it seemed. Miz comes out, introduces the whole segment as Miz TV. He then breaks out HBK. Afterwards, Dolph comes out. Dolph immediately signs the contract, during the segment, and then goes into the trash talking. Miz reveals to him that they will have their match on Raw, which flew over my head at first, and then he reveals you just signed a contract for a match at SummerSlam. It's not against me. It's against someone else who may not have that many big SummerSlam matches left. The attention is drawn over to HBK. They have a weird stare down. Wasn't really that intense.
Broke my heart. Broke my heart.
Yeah, and then HBK's like, "What are you looking at me for? It ain't me." And then
I do gotta plug it out there. I think it was actually last week that you guys asked me if I would like to see HBK come back.
You wanted it now.
No.
Yeah, now you want it.
But they put that on my screen. I was like, fuck that. Come on, give me one more.
Give me what I want. Just. But
Oh, he bust out Batista. Yeah. I was so ready for it. Like, my mind started racing. I'm like, what am I gonna do when his music hits and he's in his freaking pants? He's not in like an NXT
his
hat.
chaps,
Like,
you mean?
oh, I was so ready for it.
Most manliest man in
Then they
assless
broke my heart.
chaps.
But I can't complain about the fact that they brought out Goldberg. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so ready to see Goldberg beat the shit out of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I mean,
really am.
Goldberg, you know what? This is good for both parties. We don't need a long, drawn-out competitive match with Ziggler. And Goldberg needs somebody that can sell for him, where Goldberg doesn't have a lot of heavy lifting to do. So I think this is gonna be good for both. It'll let Goldberg kind of erase the...
Kind of redo himself. Erase. Right now, you think Goldberg, you think botched match with Undertaker.
Yeah,
You have
pretty
him come
much.
out and beat Dolph Ziggler's ass, you're going to think, oh, Goldberg, that guy that beat Dolph Ziggler's ass.
Yeah.
I'm down with
If
that.
there's anybody that can get squashed too and no one will give a damn, it's Dolph Ziggler. So it's pretty much, it works. It's a win-win.
It should have been me.
Yeah.
Speaking of it should have been me, I did want to plug that he came out and he looked at Shawn Michaels and he looked at Miz and he was like, you guys are ass kissers and blah blah blah, and my mind instantly went into they may be ass kissers, but who had shot? Meanwhile, you're out here talking about it should have been me. It should have been me.
You're looking at
maybe you should have
one of
puckered
the
up, bro. Just
greatest
saying.
wrestlers
Ain't
of
no
all
shame.
time, having some of the most historic matches and feuds, will go down in history as one of the greatest ever. And then there was Shawn Michaels in there too. It was crazy, man. No, I'm just kidding. Shawn Michaels in there, and then you had one of the greatest Intercontinental champions. But hey,
I didn't even know how to respond to that. I'm like, wait a second, is this serious?
But Goldberg comes out, he signs the contract. Ziggler just walks off, gets switching music out of nowhere by HBK. So
I
that
do
was
want to
good,
make
man.
it publicly known that if Kyle does not make our thumbnail for this episode, Shawn Michaels' foot on Dolph Ziggler's chin, I officially quit SmackDown.
He'll quit and then change all the passwords. He'll just shut the show down.
No, I'm not that mean. I wouldn't do all that, but I would be done. I'd be.
Rob would quit and take the keys.
Maybe I would change a couple passwords.
Yeah.
I have some pretty
Change a
mixed
profile
feelings,
image
man.
or two.
Yeah.
I do. I have some pretty mixed feelings. Like, Goldberg was who got me into wrestling in 03.
Yeah?
And, God, I wanted Shawn.
Me too, man. Me too. I don't think
Yeah.
Shawn wants to wrestle, man.
Well,
I just-
dude, SummerSlam
Well-
stacked. That has so many matches. The Goldberg is going to be an entertaining 4-minute squash. It ain't going to take, if it's 4 minutes, it's probably going to be a lot less than that. It won't take a lot of time away from the current talent, and that's a good thing. So,
Yeah, no, that's true. With Shawn Michaels, you do raise a good point there. Shawn Michaels also wouldn't want something like that, to have a long match to take the shine off a bunch of young guys. We know that with Goldberg going out there, that match is going to be done in like 2 to 3 minutes. You know what I mean? So
I know we talked about this last week. So other than the Triple H match that I had no idea happened, I really didn't. Shawn's match with Taker was it, right? He never had anything after that.
No, he didn't.
That I'm not aware of.
He had the 2 back-to-back matches.
In the moment of what happened on my television, I was all about it. But now that it's settled again, no. Keep it the way it is.
It's like an alcoholic when like an awesome bottle comes across. Like, fuck it, and they take it away, and you're like, oh, that's probably for the best. Okay, man, I'm good. Don't give me nothing.
It's okay. It's okay. I went out with a bang. It's okay.
Oh, that's what's that?
Also, I really like how they didn't have any physical between Goldberg and Dolph tonight.
Yeah, because that would be the exact match what we're getting at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it would be the same thing.
But how often do they do that? Somebody goes in there and they just start fighting.
Jump them, yeah.
And they did the same thing.
Yeah, I honestly expected ring destruction. I really did. They played it well. They played it very well.
They did the same thing with the first match, too. Becky or Natalya didn't tap. They teased it, didn't do it. Trish, Charlotte never touched each other.
Yeah, no, you're right. They were able to like keep everyone away from each other. You're right. I didn't even notice that, man. Good pickup on that. Yeah.
So, now, we're going to segue into questions, but before we do that, The Miz TV, I want to plug this. Again, here's my 4th daughter plug.
Jesus,
Miz TV
like 4th?
is
I thought we were like 7.
Okay, maybe we're at 7. I don't know.
I don't know.
Miz TV is kind of like the Kevin Owens show. Okay, they're both talk shows. Whatever. That's what made me think of this. I don't know if everybody got it or if just we got it because it's in Detroit tomorrow or whatever. They advertise what's going on tomorrow on SmackDown, and they were like, Kevin Owens show tomorrow on SmackDown and blah, 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 blah. And then they announced Shane McMahon is going to be on the Kevin Owens show. I wish that I could have taken a picture of my daughter's face when they said, we're seeing Shane McMahon tomorrow. I will never forget, like, she's looking at my screen with just this down face. And I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, I was hoping Shane wasn't going to be there again.
Jeez.
He had to be there, but it was so amazing.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so great. I give her so much shit. I'm like, when he comes out, you're gonna say he's the best in the world, right? She's like, no, I'm not.
Oh my god.
So good. So
All
good.
right, let's get into questions. Silly. All right, so we got let me see here. I think we got like, dang man, probably most questions we've had to date for Raw. I think we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. Nice. First one coming from the Backstreet Bookers, our good buddies over there.
Yeah, buddy. AJ was on our show.
Hell yeah, man. Has Seth Rollins hurt his character by opening his mouth on Twitter too much?
I think so.
You think so?
I don't think so. That's not in my opinion. And here's the thing. Everybody bashes WWE. I thought it was good for Seth to stick the flag in the ground and say, hey, I'm pro WWE, and I'm going to stick up for my locker room, for my company. I mean, it's good for somebody to do that, because he's really the thirst, if you really think about it.
So really, yeah, no, in modern day where everyone's trying to get out, yeah. Good for you, AJ Styles, man. Good point.
I don't think he's hurt his character by saying that. Like, I personally, when I first joined Wrestle Twitter, like, yes, I looked at it as you're the same person on Twitter that you are in the ring, but now I see that's not the case. People are heels on Twitter, but their faces in the ring, and people bring up their dollar amounts on Twitter and blah blah blah. To not ramble too much, the answer is no.
So I
don't see his tweets when I see him in the ring. I think the Vince has hurt him with the way he's been booked and whatever. My dislike for him has nothing to do with this tweet.
I think
the thing is,
you go ahead.
Renee made a comment about her paychecks just a few nights ago, and she didn't get no shit about it.
I didn't even see that, man.
You know?
Yeah, she did, but she was. People were criticizing her commenting skills, and like she didn't like she didn't say, "Oh, my bank account is bigger than yours."
No,
Her
but
comment
she
was, "But the checks keep coming in."
Yeah.
Basically
Hell
saying,
yeah.
"You think I'm trash, but they don't. They pay me."
I'm
So
still
I mean,
here.
I think she didn't get shit because it wasn't.
You know,
as
I've never had a problem
leveled
with
as
Renee
Seth was.
when it comes to this. I've
Not at all. I
never had
like
a
Renee,
problem with
man.
Renee,
Like,
man.
she's not
No,
the
that's
best, but she's definitely not the worst. She's not
Yeah.
terrible.
That's true, I guess.
She's
I
very
just
serviceable.
coming up and seeing locker room leaders like the Undertaker, like that. I just thought it was good for somebody to finally just say something, defend themselves.
Now, I mean, to play devil's advocate, yeah, it has hurt him, but you got to understand, it's in the eyes of the few, not the majority. It's
Valid.
the majority of the people showing up to Raw, like cheering, aren't the people on
Right.
Twitter.
There's
You
like
know what I mean?
15% of us that are part of this community.
Yeah. So
And then the 85 other percent is fucking clueless. They
So
watch
they're-
Raw once a week, and then that's it. That's the wrestling one.
yeah, I'm sure there are people on Twitter that all of a sudden aren't his fan anymore because he went at it with Will Ospreay. But you know what? It didn't hurt his character because it's like I said, it's in the eyes of the few, not the majority. Next question is coming to us from probably that one Australian listener I mentioned earlier, at Aussie Lucian, I think it is Aussie. Oh man, I'm butchering this. Aussie Luthien. Oh God, I can't. Aussie Luthien blogs and podcasts. He says, "What? All right, so this is where you guys can stretch your creative muscles. Use an existing one or making one up. What's your best burn towards Mike Kanellis?"
I can't burn Mike Kanellis. That's the guy in the thing with the chick, right? The
Yeah.
24/7 chick. I can't burn him, man, because I feel for him because I don't like what they're doing.
I was gonna say,
I can't burn him.
dude,
I can't burn him.
if you're forcing me to burn him,
Yeah.
if you're forcing me to burn him, I'm gonna say if the new baby ends up being a boy, I bet that baby is born with bigger balls than Mike Kanellis.
Mean, man. Leave the guy alone.
Sorry, man. He asked me to
Okay.
burn the man. All right, I had to burn him. This is actually where I wish Benji, because Benji, y'all know him. He's so creative. I wish he was on here. We'll have to get him to leave it in the comments.
After that, Baby's Black, it's our truce, I guess. So,
Oh my
yeah.
God, Jesus! No. Who is it? Who is it from Street
Whoa, whoa.
Profits? Who is it from
Oh,
Street
yes.
Profits? D'Angelo or God damn it, what's his name?
Yeah. Dawkins.
Dawkins.
Okay. I'll be right back. Go ahead and skip me on the next question. I'll be right back.
Okay. Next question. Jesus, that is such a terrible question. I may have to cut that out. Jamin Yeski, from at WWF_anonymous. These guys are awesome. They are on the Fickle Fan podcast. They were on one of my favorite episodes that we did, a collaboration where I got entirely too drunk. They said, is there any chance Shayna Baszler shows up at SummerSlam and puts Becky to sleep? And you know what? I didn't think about it until they said it. But we've been waiting for Shayna to come up, man, for a long time. And SummerSlam probably would be a good time, too. So I think there is a chance. I think there's a good chance that she does, man. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, Shayna's been in NXT for so long. SummerSlam's a good stage. And when she does come in, I think it's going to be a bigger deal like that because she already has that affiliation with Ronda Rousey, and that's known. We know how Vince likes the MMA kind of background coming in. So, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And not to mention, Becky needs a legitimate
A
opponent.
threat. She needs a
Yeah.
legit threat, man, like another Ronda Rousey. So it would make sense.
The depth on Raw, it's...
I heard the rumor, though. The true rumor is that it's actually going to be Ronda Rousey coming back, though.
I'd be good with that. Dude. I like Rousey.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
What was the question? I'll throw a quick answer.
It had to do with NXT, man. Don't worry about it.
I didn't even know Takeover was Saturday, man. I'm such a bad
Jeez, you
fan.
need to catch up, bro. The next question is from the Broadcast Podcast. Man, I love these guys. Who was your favorite WWF Hardcore Champion? Nice, light, easy to digest question. Gotta love these.
Mankind.
Mankind.
If it's not
Ooh,
Mankind, you're a
yeah.
cop.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. What about you?
I haven't watched.
That's right. Never
everything
mind. That's not
ever.
fair. You came in afterwards, so
You weren't around. Just
I-
say Mankind. Just say Mankind, and you'll get credit.
no.
I don't think I've seen his. I guess Crash from what I've seen.
Bam. Perfect answer.
Crash.
Well, since you took Crash, I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna go too in depth with it, and I'm gonna say The Undertaker.
I didn't even know he held the belt.
Yeah, man,
I
he
really
was
didn't.
a
Really?
hardcore champion when he was the badass like biker taker. He won the belt, man.
I didn't like the badass Taker. The
Oh, I
badass
loved
Taker
it.
was
I
badass,
loved
but he
it,
just
man.
wasn't. He was. I guess that you could put that as a hashtag. Not my Undertaker.
Not my Undertaker.
I was putting
I
out
love
there in
it.
that level.
All right,
I would
He
love to
was
see
cool
him
though.
bring it
Don't
out
get me wrong.
one time.
That was when he had the fake Sarah tattoo, right?
that wasn't
was
fake.
cool
That was
and all.
legit. He had to get it covered.
Really?
He had to get it
Really?
covered or erased. Yeah, no, that was legit.
Wow. Okay.
Taker was
I
a
thought it was fake because it's not there no more.
yeah. Taker was
Okay.
about that life, bro.
Word.
Get Your Wrestling Podcast at Get Your Podcast. These are Benji's people right here. Benji loves these guys, man. They said, what do you think is the weirdest thing Brock Lesnar has ever done? They went on to give the example saying, I think it's beating up a man that made eye contact with him while the man was eating a banana. I didn't even
can't
realize
even
that
answer this
happened, but I could
question 'cause I
totally
was-
see Brock doing that.
That's valid. That's my answer, I
Ooh.
guess. I don't know. I wasn't around.
I gotta say, it's I'm gonna say when he did the mariachi stuff, he came out with full sombrero and maracas and was like dancing
Oh,
along
I know
with
that.
the mariachi
Yeah. Because-
band.
With Eddie.
When I type in Brock Lesnar in the Twitter GIF search, that comes up. I've seen it.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go with that too. I loved him.
That or when he beat up Zach Gowen. Although that wasn't weird, that
God,
was just
that was brutal.
vicious.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
I guess when he was kind of licking Hulk Hogan's blood.
Oh Jesus, yeah, I remember that too. That was like prime killer Brock too, when he was like young, like 24 or something. Oh Jesus.
Last week's beatdown kind of brought me back to those days.
Yeah. Man. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of last week's beatdown, here, daughter plug number 17.
Oh
She's
my
like,
God,
why,
dude.
why doesn't Brock Lesnar just change his finish move?
Dude,
to
your
Seth
daughter gets
Rollins?
more airtime than Sebastian does.
I did an F5. I did an F5 to her on the bed. She goes, why doesn't he change the name of his finish move to the Seth Rollins?
Oh my gosh, so silly.
Oh. Or when he choked Gowan out with his shirt and then pushed him down the stairs.
Pushed him down the stairs in the wheelchair. That was mean as shit, dude.
I seen
Brock
that.
was a
I don't know. I don't know where
bastard,
I've
dude.
seen it, but I've seen that.
Yeah, Brock was a bastard. At Team McIntyre, this is Heather Mania 1. She seems to be blowing up on Twitter a little bit. She's really active. She says, how do you feel about Drew McIntyre? Just general feelings about him. I think he's the future. Like, personally speaking, I think that dude, if they don't pass on him, he is easily like the future. He can carry the company for several years on his back.
Number one guy.
Number one, right? Yeah. What about you? What about you, Rob?
Valid. Yeah, I mean, he could be the future. I mean, I don't care for him, but I don't hate him. Like, he can, out of nowhere, for some oddball reason, end up with the title at SummerSlam, and I wouldn't hate it. So, I mean, he's there. He's definitely got the talent. He definitely could be the future.
I mean, he has the look, has the mic skills, has the wrestling ability.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the intro song. I mean, that's a big
I love-
thing right there.
I love that he revealed that his Claymore kick was created by accident, and it actually almost knocked him out whenever he created the move. Did y'all hear about that?
No,
No.
I didn't.
Yeah. So when
God
he
damn it,
when he was in 3-man band with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal, he wore those like tight leather jeans, and or tight leather pants, excuse me, and he ran to do a big boot, like a standard big boot, like any big guy would deliver. But the leather jeans were so tight, when he lifted his leg up, it pulled the other leg behind him, and it literally just it created the Claymore kick. But since he didn't do it intentional, if you watch the highlight that he shows, you see him land square on his head because it was not done on purpose. Like, he laid himself out, man. He was all loopy. He had to crawl out the damn ring, everything. It's hilarious. But then I guess apparently when they had time to, like, go back and review the footage, they were like, dude, that looked pretty cool. And it just became his finishing move.
It's pretty cool.
So, yeah, he created his finisher by mistake due to, like, a wardrobe malfunction. The last question comes from Fully Bearded Nerd. This guy was supposed to be a guest on our podcast a while back, and never worked out. He asks a very intriguing question: who should be the one to absolutely dominate Brock? A la when Brock
Nobody
dominated John Cena. Bray just has his way with him. That'd be a tough sell. That'd be a tough sell right there.
Just a new character. The thing. I mean,
The Fiend? Yeah. Rob, is that you, like, beeping us off here? What's going on with
I randomly decided to turn my laptop on, bro. My screen's fucking working, dude. Holy shit.
It sounds like a bomb's going off at Rob's house.
But now it's like, yeah, now the power cord isn't working right.
but no. The Fiend. If you want to get Bray over as a
God damn
legitimate
it.
guy, not the
Come
joke
on.
he was with this new character. do shit
Sorry,
like
guys.
that.
I didn't know this was going to happen.
Rob, throw that laptop out the window, all right?
Okay, I stopped it. Hey, without that laptop, we wouldn't be here. Just
It's very
saying.
true, man. Very true. Very
Just
true.
saying.
We owe a lot to Rob.
For those that
man.
don't know, my laptop randomly died one day. The screen just stopped working, and I've been sitting here staring at it this whole hour and a half, and I decided to hit the power button, and I got a screen.
Anyways, so Rob, you say no one should dominate him. I say,
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, no, my nobody answer was because I like Brock Lesnar. If they have him tomorrow, I'm buying a Suplex City shirt, but they probably won't because Brock Lesnar.
Hell, he ain't
It's
showing up on
besides
SmackDown.
It's-
Hell,
I mean,
no.
if he doesn't show up, they might have a
Hell
T-shirt,
no.
and if they do, I'm going to buy it. That's my point. Braun Strowman.
Braun
They're both two big
Strowman.
dudes.
Oh,
And Braun Strowman, he's a beast. Brock Lesnar's a beast. There you go. I mean,
I'm gonna say Matt Riddle. I'm gonna say Matt Riddle, just like a
Ooh.
spider monkey, dude.
I'd be down
Yep.
for that because like Matt Riddle's my favorite dude in NXT. Like I
yeah.
randomly, I'll be at work and I'll randomly just be like, bro. I mean,
Shout out to Matt
And a
Riddle.
guy we just talked
I
about
love me
too,
some Matt Riddle.
Drew
All right.
McIntyre. I mean,
So-
Drew was a good choice.
So,
Drew would be a good one too.
so, damn, man. So I guess that's our show, folks. Feeling a little left out, man, because Benji usually likes to give some parting words of wisdom, whenever we close the show. So we gotta fill a hole there, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. Anyways, once again, thank you guys for joining us on the SmackDraw podcast. You can follow us at SmackDraw Pod. Follow Rob at 2 words can't see me, and I guess you can follow Sebastian if you want to. He's at WrestlingFan_32.
Might as well, dude. Might as well. follow
Might
me.
as well. Y'all have a good
Why
night.
not?
Later. God, outros are hard.